Morning everybody. Today I'm coming on with the pattern for people who want to knit the little Easter chickens that I showed in my video yesterday. Several people were interested in getting the pattern. So I have the pattern up on the screen at the moment. Now I've typed it out and I've tidied it up a bit from the pattern I was given. So if you want to take it from the screen, either take a screenshot or just pause the video and follow along. It's quite a small project. If you can't take it from this, just send me your email address and I'll email you a copy of the pattern. I don't want to put the pattern in the description box because it takes me ages to type anything. And it took me long enough to sort this out this morning and to tidy it up. So for anybody who's interested, I'll go through the pattern and I'll show you one of them I worked on this morning. You start off, I hope you've got the pattern by now, but anyway, as I said, you can go back and pause it. You start off here by casting on 24 stitches. And then you knit one row. The whole pattern is knitted in garter stitch, and what I use for knitting it is a small pair of size 4mm needles. These will be size 6 in the US. They're needles designed for teaching children how to knit, and they're much easier and less awkward to use than the full size needle. So you cast on your 24, you knit one row. Then you knit 12 rows, and at the beginning of each one of the 12 rows you cast on a stitch. This is why it's going out here, coming out into a little boat shape. It looks like a little boat or a little submarine. When you've that done, you should have 36 stitches. Then continuing to keeping a knit stitch or garter stitch the whole time, you cast off 11 stitches at the beginning of the next row. That's here. Knit across to the end, turn your work, cast off 11 stitches and knit onto the end over here. Then you knit 12 rows straight. Then I'll show you what you do next. You're left with 14 stitches at this stage and you knit two together. You knit two together across the row like this until you've 7 stitches on the needle. I'm not doing a process video of the whole thing because watching somebody knit 12 rows straight would be terribly boring. So that's what you end up with, 7 stitches. Now just a minute, I'll get a needle and show you what you do next. Sorry about that, back again. You thread on your needle, you get a darning needle, you thread it on, pick up your stitches and then slip the darning needle through each one of the 7 stitches. You're bringing your thread through. Now you've cut off the thread at this stage and you've left a long end like this so as you can sew up the chicken. Sorry, I'm trying to keep in shot here. Then you pull the thread tightly through the 7 stitches. You fold your little chicken in half and you can see how it comes into the chicken stitch or the chicken shape. Then you sew up the chicken along the back of its head. Right, let's see if I can do this easily enough. Now, excuse my big lumpy stitches. Sewing on camera is not that easy. Now I'm doing massive big whoppers of stitches, but you can do it much neater at home. So you sew up the head until you've come to the neck area. Now, what I do at this stage is I put a finger up into the chicken's head and I take like this and I work a row of running stitches around where the chicken's neck should be. Sorry, I'm not doing this very well. I'm just doing it rather roughly to give you the idea. And before I pull it tight into the shape of his head, I get some of this stuff, a polyester fibre fill or wadding or whatever you like to call it, the stuffing that comes out of cushions of that, and I stuff his head. And then I pull, sorry, that's the end where you cast on. I pull this tight and make a few stitches. When you're finishing off the chicken, you tie a bow around here, and then I sew along here and down here, that's his body, and down his tail. And you leave the bottom open, this bit here, so as you can put in the chocolate egg. This is the cast on edge. You don't sew that up, you leave it open. And then for his beak, what you do is you get some orange felt. You cut a rectangle of the felt like this. You fold the rectangle in half, get a pair of scissors and chop it into a beak, make it into a beak shape, like that. So that, well, you would use a smaller piece of felt, but you glue it on here with PVA glue, good strong tacky glue, and you have the chicken's, hope that makes sense, you have the chicken's beak shape. I'll just do that again with a smaller bit of felt. You get your tiny rectangle of felt, put it down a bit smaller, fold it, get your tiny rectangle of felt, fold it in half and just trim it into a V shape, and then glue it on here for the chicken. And then you get some black yarn and you just sew a few stitches here and here for his eyes. And that's all. Of course you can tie a nice bit of ribbon around his neck and maybe put a flower on the front, on the front of the ribbon or something, or on the front of the bow. So that's all. As I said, if anybody kind of can't pick up the pattern from the screen, I'll put it back on again. Just email me your address and I'll try and get the pattern for you. I hope this helps all the people who are looking for it. So hope you have a nice day. Good luck. Bye.